We are going on the record at 9:50 a.m. This is the video deposition of Jodi Vieira taken by the defendants in the matter of Jodi Vieira versus Kaiser Foundation Hospitals et al., filed in the Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, case number 19 VECV 01454. This deposition is being held at 401 Wilshire Boulevard, Suite 850, Santa Monica, California, 90401. My name is Gabriel Goodrow. I'm a notary public and legal video specialist. The court reporter is Lynn Ocker, and we are representing Kusar Legal Services, headquartered in Long Beach, California. Please note that audio and video recording will take place unless all parties agree to go off the record. Counsel and all present will now state their appearance and affiliation for the record, after which the court reporter will swear in the witness.
My name is John R. Kerrigan, Jr. of the law firm of Coves & O'Connor. I am counsel for the defendants in this case, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals and Kaiser Foundation Health Plan, Inc.
I am Jodi Vieira, representing myself.
Thank you.
I'm Matthew Hofschmidt, independent film for Jodi. April.
And Matt, what is your name?
April Jules, assisting the videographer, Matt.
Okay.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Vieira.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate you making the effort to be here in person. Due to the pandemic, this is actually the first in-person deposition I've done in more than a year. So we're all going to be getting our legs back under us, I think, in terms of doing this stuff in person. Before we get into the questioning, as a procedural issue, I need to put something on the record.
Okay.
There are two videographers here today.
Yes.
That's quite unusual. And under the Code of Civil Procedure in California, there is a procedure where a deponent could bring their own videographer if they provided adequate notice as provided for by CCP section 2025.330. You did not do that. At this point, I am not going to bar your videographer or your videographer's assistant at this point from being in the room. I'd like to go forward and get this deposition done, but I want to say that we're reserving all objections under that section of the code, as well as any other objections that might come up with respect to admissibility of the recording that's being created by your videographer. I'd also ask the videographer and the videographer's assistant to keep silent while we're on the record. In addition, I do not consent to any recording by the videographer during the periods that we're off the record, sorry, your name?
Gabe.
And Gabe will let us know when we're going on and off the record. And if for any reason, any time, and I don't anticipate this is going to happen, but if for any reason we determine that having you guys in here is disruptive, I may ask you to leave, and I reserve the right to do that. But for right now, I'd like to go forward and have the smoothest, best deposition that we can. Does that work for you,
Yes.
Jodi?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. And now we can get started. Can you state your full name for the record?
Jodi Lynn Vieira.
Okay. And you understand today that you're under oath as if you were testifying in a court of law, which means that your testimony here today is under the penalty of perjury. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. I would appreciate, because you've got a court reporter who's just taking down what you say verbally, that you respond to questions verbally rather than simply by shaking your head or saying things like that, which can be hard to get in a transcript. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do my best to ask clear questions. If at some point you don't understand one of my questions, you can ask me to rephrase, and I'll try and do that. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. This is not intended to be an endurance test today. I expect we're going to go, most or all of the day, but there will be breaks. We're certainly going to be taking a break for lunch. We'll probably be taking at least one break in the morning, probably at least 2 breaks in the afternoon. If at some point you need to take a break, please let me know, and I'll try and accommodate that. All that I would ask is that you don't ask for a break while a question is pending. So if
Sure.
I ask a question, just answer that and then ask for a break before the next question. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. After this deposition is done, you'll have an opportunity to review the transcript and you'll have an opportunity to make changes or corrections to your testimony. If you do that, I or any of the other attorneys who are handling the defense of this case will have an opportunity to comment on that if this goes to trial. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay. Are you currently under taking any medications or had any drugs or alcohol or anything in your system that would impact your ability to give your best testimony today?
No. I had a glass of wine last night,
But
but
would that
nothing
impact
this
your ability
morning.
to
But
testify?
if I get, this is stressful for me, I may take a prescribed medication if I get anxious.
An anxiety medication?
Yeah.
Do you? What's the name of the medication?
Xanax.
Do you have any reason to believe that would impact your ability to testify accurately?
No.
Okay. Is there any reason that you wouldn't be in a position to give your best testimony today?
No.
Okay. What, if anything, did you do to prepare for your deposition today?
I went through my paperwork and I've been watching YouTube.
What have you been watching on YouTube?
Just deposition.
Just YouTube clips about how to testify and how to prepare for a deposition, that
Yes.
sort of thing? Okay. Did you look over any particular documents to get ready for today? You mentioned there were documents that you brought with you today that marked 1 through 47.
Correct.
Besides those, anything else that you looked at to get ready for today?
No.
Okay. Did you talk to anybody about the fact that you were going to be appearing for deposition today?
Yes.
Who?
Object. Irrelevant.
Relevance isn't a reason not to answer a question at deposition. Who did you talk to?
I've talked to my sister and I've talked to a couple friends.
Okay, what did you say to your sister about the deposition today?
I object. This is irrelevant.
Relevance isn't a basis not to answer a question at deposition. What did you talk to your sister about?
I don't know what to do in this situation. I mean, I have to answer all the questions.
You're under oath.
I'm. Irrelevant.
That's not a basis not to answer a question at deposition.
She knows about what I'm going through. I told her I was feeling good, and that's all I remember.
Okay. Which friends did you talk to about this deposition today?
I don't remember.
Who did you talk to?
Oh, gosh. A handful of my closest friends know what I'm going through.
I'm asking who you talked to about the fact that you were coming for a deposition today.
I object. This is irrelevant, but I talked to my friend April. I don't know.
Who else?
You know what? I'm afraid, after everything that I've been through, what Kaiser might do to people. That's a fear of mine. So I have nothing to lie about, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't wanna do that to people. I don't think that's right, and it's irrelevant, and I object. I'm sorry, but let's play fair.
We are entitled to know who you've talked to about your lawsuit because those people become witnesses in the lawsuit when you talk about the lawsuit with them.
I didn't talk anything about facts. I only spoke of my feelings and what I'm going through, not facts of the case.
So who are all the people that you had those conversations with?
I'm gonna not answer that.
On what basis?
Irrelevance.
Relevance is not a base. There is no legal authority that says relevance is a basis not to answer a question at
I'm
deposition.
sorry, I'm not gonna answer that. I'm just gonna stick to my guns. If the
Did
judge
you-
needs me to answer, I will answer for the judge.
Did you speak to any attorneys about your deposition today?
I have.
Who?
Irrelevant.
No, it's not. Who did you speak to?
I'm scared for them also.
They're attorneys. They're not scared of me.
I beg to differ.
Which attorneys did you speak to?
I'm not trying to be difficult, but this is completely irrelevant.
Again,
And
your assessment of relevance is not a basis not to answer a question.
Okay,
You're
I can
here
tell
sworn
you-
under oath
okay,
to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I am telling the
Not
truth, and
simply
I.
to the questions that you
Excuse me, one
decide
at a
to
time,
answer.
though. One at a time.
Sorry.
So which attorneys did you talk to?
I talked to Mike Baltex,
Okay.
and I talked to Bill Waldo, and I talked to Brannigan Robinson, I think, and that's all I remember.
And none of those attorneys are representing you, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And you are not currently represented by any attorney with respect to this matter, right?
That's correct.
Okay. I'd like to mark as exhibit number 1 the document that's entitled Notice of Taking the Video Deposition of Plaintiff Jodi Vieira and Request for Production of Documents. Could you take a look at this document? Have you seen this before?
It was emailed. Yeah, it was emailed from you and Nancy.
Right. So this is the document that set the time and the date and the place for the deposition today.
Yes.
And it also had a list of categories of documents starting on page 3, or really I guess starting on page 4, that we were asking you to produce today. Did you review this list of documents that we were asking for you to produce?
Yes.
Is it your position that you have produced everything in your possession that is responsive to this list of requests?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I have it here today with me.
Yes.
Yes.
And I will say for the record that you gave me, before we went on the record, a copy of what you are calling documents number 1 through 47.
Correct.
Okay. Since your last day of employment with any Kaiser Permanente entity, what are all the employers that you've done work for?
I worked for Thousand Oaks Surgical Center. I worked for, what is it called? I'm blanking on the name. It was a camp up in Santa Barbara. Hope Refuge. And most recently, Buena Vista Hospice.
Are you currently employed?
I am by Buena Vista, but I'm out on a leave right now.
Did you produce in your documents any documents relating to your employment with any of those 3 entities?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Can you tell me where in your stack of documents those are?
I emailed them to you, my W-2s from those
Okay,
3.
okay.
And, yeah.
So other than the W-2s that you emailed, you have no other documents relating to your employment with any of those entities?
I don't think so.
You don't have pay stubs?
I think I sent you a Buena Vista pay stub.
What about from the other entities?
I sent you the W-2s.
Okay, so you no longer have pay stubs from those entities then?
No.
Okay. Since your last day working for any of the Kaiser entities, have you seen any kind of medical providers with respect to emotional distress that you're alleging in this lawsuit?
Yes.
Which ones?
I have seen Dr. Gleisinger, Dr. Agres. I saw the ER doctor at Kaiser, Dr. Mateo. I saw a couple therapists.
What were their names?
One of them was Carrie. Gosh, I don't know. I'm nervous, but it was Chuck Carey, Charles Carey, and then I forget. That's all I can remember right now. The names. I
If
saw a
you-
few others.
If you think of any of the other names, if you could let me know.
Yes.
Have you provided all the documentation that you have relating to visits with any of those providers?
Yes.
Okay. You said that you were taking, is the Xanax via prescription or is that over the counter?
A prescription.
Who gave you the prescription for Xanax?
I think it was Agres. I don't remember.
Have you produced any documentation relating to that Xanax prescription?
No.
Are you currently taking any other medications that are related to symptoms that you're claiming to suffer relating to allegations in this complaint?
I have taken, yes,
What are they?
Effexor. I've taken that since 2004.
And what is that for?
I was having postpartum anxiety and a little postpartum blues, and it was prescribed by my OBGYN.
Okay. Do you know what dosage is currently prescribed on that?
225 milligrams.
Has that dosage changed over time?
I've gone up and down and tried to come off of it, but that's been kind of my baseline.
Okay. Who's the doctor that's prescribed the Effexor?
Just my primary.
And what's your primary's name?
Dr. Corner. Corner, Korner.
Okay. And where's Dr. Corner?
Newberry Park.
Is that a Kaiser doctor?
No.
Okay. Any other medications relating to symptoms that you attribute to your claims in this lawsuit?
No.
Okay. And the Xanax, what's the dosage for the prescription on that?
0.5.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, 0.5.
And is that Xanax, are you supposed to take a certain dosage every day, or it's an
No,
as
just
needed basis?
as
Okay.
needed.
Okay.
Excuse me, can you admonish about the one at a time?
Sure, I'm gonna try and not talk over you. Please try not to talk over me. We just wanna make sure we get a clean record here.
Sure. Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what's your date of birth?
May 29th, 1970.
Are you currently married?
No.
Have you been married before?
Yes.
What years were you married?
99 to 2008.
Okay. Is it one marriage or more than one?
Just one.
Okay. What is your ex-husband's name?
I object because this is irrelevant. Why does my ex-husband have anything to do with this?
Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. This is a deposition. Conceivably, he is a witness to your damage claims. What's his name?
Jodi Vieira.
Okay, and where does he live?
He lives in Thousand Oaks.
Do you know his street address?
No,
Okay. You have 2 children, is that right?
that's correct.
And what are their names?
Jackson
And
and Canaan.
Canaan?
Why is this relevant? Object.
How old are your children?
Why do you need to know about my kids?
Well, what I want to know right now is if they're over 18 or if they're under 18. If you're telling me that they're under 18, I will tell you right now, I'm not going to try and take their depositions. How old are your children?
16 and 18.
Which one is 18?
Jackson.
And what is your current address?
717 Mondego Place.
How long have you been living there?
For 15 years.
And who all lives at that address?
Me and 3 other women. Is this relevant? Objection irrelevant. I don't know what's relevant and not.
Who are the other women that live at that address?
They are tenants, roommates, tenants.
What are their names?
Irrelevant. Object.
It's not irrelevant. What are their names?
Tiffany, Angie, and Noelle.
What are their last names?
I don't know. Or I think Tiffany is Comerford. And Angie McClish. And I don't know Noelle's.
So you're charging the 3 of them rent to stay at your place?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How much is each of them paying you in rent each month?
Object. Irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant. You're asking for money damages in this case, and we get to look at what your income is and what you're doing to mitigate your damages. So how much money are you making on rent from these people?
$28.20 from all 3 of them.
So combined, $28.20 a month?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How much is your mortgage payment each month?
32. is also irrelevant.
Have you ever been involved in a lawsuit before this one?
No.
Have you ever had your deposition taken before today?
I have.
And when was that?
It was when I was a paramedic.
What kind of case was that?
Slip and fall, something. I don't remember. That's all I remember.
That was the only other time you had your deposition taken?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever filed for bankruptcy?
No.
Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
No.
Have you ever been convicted of any crime?
Not during the time I was employed with Kaiser.
What crime were you convicted of before that?
Vandalism.
How old were you when that happened?
23.
What did you vandalize?
I threw a house plant.
At
Just,
what?
Just against a wall.
What's your educational background?
I have my AARN, Associates Registered Nurse.
And what institution is that from?
Excelsior College.
And what year did you get that?
2002.
Okay. Did you graduate high school?
Yes.
And what high school did you graduate?
Santa Barbara High School.
Any post-high school education besides the AARN degree?
I got a Bachelor of Science, not Bachelor, Associate AS in Fire Science.
From what school?
Allen Hancock,
Where's that?
Santa Maria, but the school was in Santa Barbara, but the main school is in Santa Maria.
Was that a 2-year degree?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you get that?
Where?
When?
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay. Any other post-high school education?
I did a lactation consultant at UC Long Beach.
Did you get any kind of certificate from that?
Yeah, that was, yes.
And when did you get that?
I don't remember.
Okay. Any other post-high school education?
Just like continued education for nursing. That's all I can remember right now.
Okay. So starting from when you graduated from high school, what jobs have you had?
I was a flower girl at a flower stand, outside flower stand. I worked at a deli. I worked at City of Santa Barbara for the maintenance department.
What years was that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I mean, I don't remember.
Okay. What other jobs?
I worked at Cottage Hospital before I was a nurse.
Was that your first job in healthcare?
Cottage? Yeah, I guess so. Yes, sir. And then I was a paramedic.
What did you do at Cottage Hospital?
I was a tech in labor and delivery. but different. Oh.
So when you were a labor and delivery tech at Cottage Hospital, did you ever work with formalin there?
Not that I remember, because the tech there and the tech at where I never did like surgical procedures, or I didn't do a lot. Our job description is very different there.
Did you just work with machines, or what did you do?
No, I mostly did stocking and just helping.
Okay.
It was before I really had it. I didn't have a certificate or anything.
What years was that?
Gosh, I don't know. I really don't remember, but let's see, I went to paramedic. I don't remember.
Okay. And what did you do after you left Cottage Hospital?
I went to paramedic school.
Where did you go to paramedic school?
Daniel Freeman.
How long is that paramedic school program?
I think it was a year program.
Okay. And where is Daniel Freeman?
In Inglewood.
Okay. And when did you get your certificate from that program? I'm sorry, did you get a certificate
Yes.
from that program? Okay, when did you get
I
that?
think it was 94.
Okay, what did you do after you finished up at Daniel Freeman?
I got a job at Gold Coast Ambulance.
Okay, and how long did you work for Gold Coast Ambulance?
About 5 years.
And you were a paramedic for them?
Yes.
Okay. And why did you leave that position?
Because I was doing my nursing and I got pregnant.
Okay. So did you take some time off of work after the birth of your first child?
I did.
Okay. And when did you, what year was your first child born?
03.
Okay. And so when did you go back into the workforce?
I went back when I just took my, I think it was 6 or 8 weeks.
Okay. So sometime in 03, you were back working?
Mhm.
Okay, what did you do when you started working after your
I
child was
started-
born?
Sorry. I went to Los Robles Hospital.
And what was your job there?
I was a registered nurse in the emergency room.
Okay. How long were you at Los Robles Hospital?
12 years.
And why did you leave that position?
Objection irrelevant. I know, I just had to say that. I think that's what I'm supposed to say. But I was forced to resign.
Why?
Because I had an accidental HIPAA violation.
What happened?
I gave somebody their paperwork, but with somebody else's name and birth date on it. No other personal information.
Okay. Who was your supervisor in that position?
Fran. Gosh. I don't remember her last name.
Were you represented by a union in that job?
Yes.
Did you
Well,
try and grieve that termination?
I tried, but my union was not. I don't know. I don't believe in unions anymore, but that's irrelevant.
Okay. And so what was your next job after losing that job?
Kaiser.
Okay. When you applied at Kaiser, did you give them the reason that you had left Los Robles?
Excuse me. Yes.
What did you tell them?
That I was still employed with Los Robles because they told me they would employ me for 4 months.
Uh-huh.
So I was presently employed, so I did not reveal that it was a forced resignation.
Okay.
I just said I did not reveal that.
Okay. All right. And so what year did you start working at Kaiser?
13.
2013?
13 or 14? Is it 13 or 14?
I think it was 14.
Is it 14 or 14? Yeah, 14.
What was the, do you know the date that you started there?
March. Can I look at my notes?
Certainly.
Yeah, March 3rd.
And throughout the day today, anytime there's a question, if you think it's something that is written down and you want to look at something that's in front of you to refresh your recollection, feel free to do so.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'd like you to take a look at what's marked as document A,
Okay.
which I'd like to have marked as exhibit number 2.
Are these for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you tell me what that is?
This is my pay stub from Kaiser.
Okay. So at the top, there's 2 different pages, and I think it's 2 different pay stubs from different dates. Can you confirm that? If you look at the top left-hand corner, there's a box.
Yes.
So one of these is referring to a pay period in 2017, and one is referring to a pay period in 2018.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the top middle of both documents, there's a name of a company, Kaiser Foundation Hospitals. Do you see that?
Yes.
And you understand Kaiser Foundation Hospitals is a defendant in this lawsuit, right?
Correct.
And is it your understanding that Kaiser Foundation Hospitals was your employer during the time that you worked for quote-unquote Kaiser? That you were working for Kaiser Foundation Hospitals?
I don't know. I mean, I'm
Do you have any
assuming
reason
so.
Do you have any reason to dispute that?
No.
Okay. In this lawsuit, you named there are 2 defendants that I represent. There's Kaiser Foundation Hospitals, which is my understanding is the entity that you were employed by, and there's also another entity called Kaiser Foundation Health Plan, Inc. Do you contend that you were ever employed by Kaiser Foundation Health Plan, Inc.?
I don't know.
Do you have any evidence to that effect?
I really don't know.
Do you know why they're named as a defendant in this lawsuit?
No.
Okay. Are you willing to stipulate to agree to dismiss Kaiser Foundation Health Plan, Inc. on the grounds that you don't have any evidence that they were your employer?
No.
Okay. During the time that you, and from here on out for the rest of the day, I'm probably going to say Kaiser a lot, Kaiser. Unless I say otherwise, when I say during your time at Kaiser or something like that, I'm referring to employment by Kaiser Foundation Hospitals. Is that okay? Rather than saying Kaiser Foundation Hospitals every time, I'm just going to say Kaiser.
Yeah, but I'm a little confused why there's 2, and I don't know what that means. And so I feel like I should know, but I don't.
Okay. When I refer to Kaiser, unless I say something different, I'm talking about Kaiser Foundation Hospitals, okay?
Well, let's refer to Kaiser as both of them, since that's what my attorney did, and I don't know why.
Okay, maybe I'll just say Kaiser Foundation Hospitals then. Okay, that's fine.
So we can do Kaiser for both of them. I don't know the difference.
All right. During your time that you were working for Kaiser Foundation Hospitals, were you a member of a union?
Okay, I thought you were going to say Kaiser.
What I said was, could I use the abbreviation Kaiser rather than saying Kaiser Foundation Hospitals? You said no. So during the time that you worked for Kaiser Foundation Hospitals, were you a member of union?
I need a little clarification.
Okay, well, I can ask it a different way. That probably would smooth things over.
My
When you worked
Sorry, I apologize.
in this job that we're talking about,
Yes,
you were at a particular hospital, right?
yes.
And that was Woodland, the Kaiser Permanente Woodland Hills Medical Center?
That's correct.
Okay. If I say the hospital, will you understand that I'm talking about that Kaiser Permanente Woodland Hills Medical
Yes.
Center? Okay. During the time that you worked
I'm
at
not
that...
trying to be difficult.
understand.
I just.
I'm not
need
trying to be
be
difficult
careful.
either. I'm just
One
trying
at
to
a
be clear.
time, please. One at a time.
Okay. So during the time that you worked at the hospital, were you the member of a union?
Yes,
And what was that union?
UNAC.
Okay. So look at what is document B in your stack. I'd like to mark this as exhibit number 3. Have you ever seen this before?
Yes,
Okay. Can you tell me what it is?
it's my collective bargaining agreement.
Okay. And you understood this to apply to your employment from the dates on the front are October 1, 2015 through September 30, 2018. You were no longer working at the hospital on September 30th, 2018, right?
Correct.
Okay. So from October 1, 2015 up through the end of your employment at the hospital, your understanding was that this bargaining agreement applied?
Yes, according to the front page. I don't know what's in it.
Okay. Do you know what you're suing my clients for?
Yes.
What are you suing my clients for?
For disability harassment, discrimination, and retaliation in employment, violation of the California Family Rights Act, violation of the Labor Code, Section 11.2, and retaliation and wrongful termination in violation of public policy.
Okay, and you're reading that from the front page of the complaint that was filed on your behalf in court?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Do you believe that you have a disability?
Yes, I do.
And what disability do you believe that you have?
Anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder. That's all I can think of right now.
Okay. How long do you believe you've been disabled by anxiety?
Since I was the root cause analysis meeting on January 25th, 2018.
Okay, and how long do you believe you've been disabled by depression?
Since then, same.
And how long do you believe you've been suffering from PTSD?
Since then.
And is it your belief that the way that you were questioned during that meeting is the cause of your anxiety, your depression, and your PTSD?
That was the start.
Do you know what formalin is?
I do.
Can you tell me what formalin is?
It's a chemical that, it's a preservative.
Okay. What's it used for? in hospital settings, as far as you know?
To keep anything preserved, specimens preserved, or, I mean, I knew about it first and when I took like anatomy and physiology.
When you took anatomy and physiology, where?
In high school, in college. We used it on our cadavers.
Do you understand that formalin is poisonous?
I do.
And when did you first come to know that?
I've known. I mean, I knew it was a chemical. I don't know.
When you were, before you started working at the hospital, did you ever have any kind of training regarding the safe handling of formalin?
No. Not that I remember. Specifically, no.
But if you understood it was poisonous, did you understand that there had to be any kind of precautions taken with respect to handling of formalin so that it wouldn't be dangerous to anyone?
I've taken a hazardous material course, so I'm aware of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So,
Where did you take that hazardous materials course?
Allen Hancock College.
Do you remember if that hazardous materials course at Allen Hancock College talked anything about how to transport formalin safely?
No, I don't.
Do you remember if it talked about how to respond to a formalin spill?
Not specifically.
You were involved in a formalin spill incident during your time at the hospital, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Prior, and we'll talk about that incident later.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that incident that you were involved in, are you aware of any other instances in which there were formalin spills at the hospital?
Not prior. No.
Okay.
Not at that time. I found out later.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm asking you in terms of what you know today. In terms
Oh,
of
right now?
Yeah, in terms of what you know today, do you
Yes.
know of another formalin spill before the one that you were involved in?
Yes.
How many?
One.
Okay. What do you know about that other spill incident?
That it was a similar situation.
What do you mean?
I know that it was twins, and they were premature, and that the other staff involved was not disciplined other than a verbal.
Do you know who those other staff were?
Yes.
What were their names?
Daniel. I know it was Daniel Donnelly. Now Kaiser's going to probably get them in trouble, which is not okay. Sorry. Yeah, Daniel Donnelly. I think Sue Conaway. And I think the union told me that Jenny Tobar was involved.
Do you know if any of those individuals or strike that? Do you know approximately when this other formalin spill took place?
Yes,
When?
April of 2009. 18. I think.
Wait, when did your spill take place? Wasn't yours in January?
Oh, I'm sorry.
2018?
It must have been 2017.
Okay, thanks. Do you know if Kaiser did anything to investigate that spill?
Yes.
What, if anything, did they do to investigate it?
I'm not sure what they did, but I know there wasn't. I'm not sure what they did.
Is it your understanding that as the result of that spill, they introduced some kind of hazardous material spill training?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if there had been any such hazardous material spill training? Strike that. Just to clarify, you mentioned this involved twins. This was in the labor and delivery unit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Prior to the April 2017 spill in the labor and delivery unit, do you know if there had been any kind of hazardous materials training that for labor and delivery unit employees that involved dealing with formalin or formalin spills?
I don't know.
Okay. What your understanding was that they did have such training after that April 2017 spill?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like you to look at what's marked as C, which I'll make Exhibit 4.
I'm sorry, which, was it E or C?
C. Have you ever seen this document before?
Yes, I have.
Can you tell me what it is?
It is the Managing Hazardous Spills in Labor and Delivery and OR formalin, both instructor-led and self-learning module.
Okay, so is this a record of who had received training with respect to managing hazardous chemical spills in L&D and OR and formalin?
Yes.
Okay. And this looks to be in alphabetical order, so I'm going to the last page of it, page 4,
Mm-hmm.
and I do see your name on there, Jodi Vieira,
Yes.
and there is an X under SLM, which I believe going to the front page stands for self-learning module.
Correct.
So you took a self-learning module training on formalin spills on or around 7/18/17?
I don't remember, but I believe that.
Okay. Do you remember anything from that training?
No. I did ask. Oh, yeah, never mind.
You did ask what?
I asked for my union to produce that so I could remember, but they didn't.
Okay. And you don't know what, if any, discipline any of the staff who were involved in the first spill received, is that right?
I do know that they did not have written. They were verbally disciplined.
Okay. Why don't we take a 5-minute break?
Okay.
The time is the time is 10:45 a.m. We are off the record.